And so you're confident that that matches what we're going to produce?
Yeah.
What is your thought? Because one of the things we will have to consider as we go forward is, do we want to partner with RSU 18, which would make a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. We're still part of the same community and partnership. But if we want to go outside of them to a Fairfield, we have, in order for us to benefit, we've got to lease the property. If they don't stay with their 6-year, if they stay with their 6-year commitment to get a credit, they're still paying us money for the property.
Yes, you're going to get, so the owner of the system is going to pay the town of Oakland the lease payments for the property.
And that's got to at least be no more than 2 cents a kilowatt hour times what they use, or they're not going to do it.
Well, I know that Waterville just signed a deal for about $439 an acre per year. But I think we can do better here.
And what happens after 6 years if they decide they don't want to buy it, they want to get out, they didn't make anything, they broke even, it wasn't worth their effort?
Then we can find other off-takers.
Okay.
They're going to sign a contract to be obligated for a period of time.
And then you would find somebody else probably that would be willing to take on that.
Yes, before they left their contract.
So Oakland wouldn't be on the hook for it as well, essentially?
No.
Okay.
No?
We'd have no connection to this extra part other than leasing them the land, right?
That's right.
And paying, and charging them taxes on whatever the value of the thing is.
That's right.
I mean, we'd just be a land,
That's right.
landowner. We wouldn't have nothing to do with the power generation. We don't care how much they generate or what they do with it, right?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you made that point, because Oakland has no risk with that.
Yeah.
Is your son an equal partner in the business?
He's 49%.
I like it.
How old are you?
I'm 62. He's 33. So I know where you're going with this. So we have a long-term plan. He's going to take over the business. And so he'll be here to maintain the system, even after I'm long gone.
Does he have a 14-year-old son?
A 9-year-old son.
He's already learning, right?
Yeah, he's already driving the skid steer.
Nice. Good to go.
Did you want me to try to find that CMP bill, the way they disperse the credits? Do you want to
Yeah, if you could.
see that? I do have that here, if you can bear with me. I just have to find it.
So if I'm understanding that correctly, it all goes by the first year of production, and then CMP takes whatever the benefit is past that. Is that right? Like as far as what's over and beyond that? If
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
so, essentially, I mean, the way the standards work is that things will continue to get more efficient. So, did you say that after that first year with what CMP finds out is produced from it, then they take whatever bonus is left over? No?
No, so we want to be careful that we don't overproduce.
Okay.
Because if we overproduce and have extra kilowatt hours that they take and the town can't use, then they'll keep those.
They don't pay us for
And
those?
They won't pay you for them, no. No.
What if we?
I thought there was recent laws that changed on that they have to pay.
Well, that would be called a feed-in tariff, and we don't have a feed-in tariff here in Maine yet. It's in
All right.
other parts of the country. So we just want to make sure that the town doesn't buy power they're not going to use.
There you go, Mike. That's a new bill you can introduce right there.
But if you know, the town had extra kilowatt hours, it could be applied to another meter of your choice.
Okay.
So I got a question for you, Chuck. Are we going to be right sizes?
I know, Fox is trying to get into this.
This project's not going to be running until probably the end of January. And
So it'll increase the current
it's going to
fire.
it's going to increase the current
Electricity
usage
bill.
of electricity. So it's something we're going to have to take into account somehow.
Right.
And we don't know what that's going to be.
Sure. Well, it's hard to speculate. You know, we don't want to build a system too large.
Right.
We could try to do some estimates, but We can talk more about that.
Yeah,
Just
we
try
can
to
talk
figure
about
that
it.
out.
We can probably base it off of what
You can
Waterville
change the
uses,
size,
right?
You know, if you want to. I'm
Gary?
sorry.
We could probably base it off of what Waterville uses, right?
Yeah, I don't know, but we're not gonna use that much power.
No.
But we are gonna use more than what we're currently using over there.
What is the flexibility of the installation? For example, if we just built in what you're projecting we're gonna need, maybe we have RSU 18 join in and we do make it bigger, but then let's say in 2 years they do make some changes in the fact that we will get more, if we give them more electricity than we were supposed to, we can then sell that to somebody else, or something else happens. How easy is it and how expensive is it to add on to what we have later rather than trying to build the whole thing now?
So the power purchase agreement is going to be established for the size that we determine. And according to the IRS, we can't change anything for the first 6 years. So then later when if the town decides that it wants to make the system bigger, that's easy to do.
But
In 2 years, let's say we wanted to sell to Fairfield, we could put in another set of panels in 2 years that would be Fairfield's portion or whatever it is. They lease the property for us, and then in another 3 years, somebody else will. So we could add on to this, or they'd be adding on to it. They'd be paying whatever bills it was, and we would just be again leasing the land.
So the power purchase agreements, one of the things that makes them work is that 30% federal tax credit.
Mhm.
And that's scheduled to go down each year.
Other
So
towns,
that's
when
why
you-
we're trying to turn the shovel so we can protect that tax credit.
For sure.
So, if the town said, let's build the whole thing, and then we were able to turn the shovel on that bigger one, it would protect that, and then Fairfield could participate anytime they want to. But we'd want to sell that power pretty quickly.
But if Fairfield wanted to do something, theirs would be completely separate from ours.
It would be.
It would be nothing to do with adding on to our system. It would
Right.
be a new,
It would be.
different system.
It would be.
Yeah.
But it'd be a lower value without the tax credit or the reduced tax credit.
Yeah, so that's the tricky thing, I don't know how that's going to affect future development.
Yeah.
If the
But
tax
you have
credit
to
goes
know
away.
next year when you do these, right? When you put some in next year, you know
Well,
that.
I have projected for this system here that the investor would lose about $26,000, I think we talked about that. $26,000 of their potential investment.
Yeah.
It's
That makes
gonna be passed on to us.
No,
Well, not with you guys, because
because we'd still be getting the lease.
we're protecting the 30% tax credit. That wouldn't get passed on to you. So these things are complicated, and as you can see, you've all got good questions. It's taken me a while to understand these.
So who's lobbying the government to keep these incentives alive?
Yeah, there's some national organizations trying to keep the 30% tax credit in place.
And are they getting well funded, so this is gonna happen?
I don't know.
Call your congressman.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
Partially for Mike, maybe for you as well. What about our legislature and potential credits that they're going to have? Right now, I think they have a program in for the heat pumps.
Oh, yeah.
Supposedly, heat pumps are gonna get some big subsidies by the state of Maine. Mike, when is the state gonna have a subsidy for solar pumps?
Don't know that.
Is there any discussion? Have a lot of states gone that route? Are any states going that route?
The route of applying.
Subsidies by the state,
Credits.
incentives by the state.
Yeah, the state of Maine had a credit a few years ago. They didn't want to overdo it, with the legislation they passed. They didn't want to go too far with it. So we all decided that, we wouldn't ask for any rebates this time, because we were asking for a few other things. And so that's not to say next year they won't develop a rebate,
Well, I know there's,
but it wouldn't affect the PPA.
No,
Rebate,
but it's like next year or the year after somebody else was doing this.
depending on what they come up with, yeah.
But that's our tax money they're giving away when they do that.
They just raised the electric bills.
Put it
Well-
up to efficiency they need.
I'm just looking for that bill for you.
It's interesting, because am I correct in thinking those states like Florida don't have any incentives whatsoever?
I don't really know what's going on in Florida. There's a site that you can go to see what each state has for incentives. It's called desire.gov, and it shows you exactly what each state has for incentives.
When I was down there, I was in Fort Myers. There was a lot of people in the community that had solar panels on their house, and their electric bills are consistently lower than ours. And they were like, they get a $10 bill, or they end up with a $10 credit. So, I mean, they are making moves down there too.
Yeah, but for municipalities and things that benefit from this sort of program, which is considerably more. I heard one of the congressmen making a statement about that, and it always seemed kind of strange. One of the states with the most available solar gain wasn't taking advantage of it.
Texas is in a big way.
Well, this is a federal program, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Florida's,
No income tax.
plus is that?
How come you guys don't come up with ways to give more tax money away?
We'll give it tomorrow.
And you know that makes me happy when you do
Yeah,
that.
me too.
Too far into the weeds.
That money tree outside is pretty good. It's just that, dig up the roots.
I don't think you're gonna need to do that.
All right,
I think probably.
okay. I just wanted to let people know that the credits, CMP disperses the credits according to the order that we place the accounts in. It's called cascading. So to hit the first account, they go to the next. So they keep track of that, plus we keep track of the production, and this, we can compare, see how things are matching up.
Okay.
Have the two towns that you've worked on so far, have they been pretty on spot for what you predicted?
Waldeboro's a little bit ahead, but they're happy with that
All right.
because they've increased their power use. They're putting in some heat pumps, and Tremont just went online at the end of 2018, so we haven't had a full year to see how theirs pans out, but so far it looks like it's on track.
That's awesome.
We use this software called PB Watts. It's maintained by the National Renewable Energy Lab in Golden, Colorado, and we can calculate exactly how much power the system is going to produce. So I'll just pop in some numbers real quick.
Well, just popping in those numbers, I did talk with the three town managers, and I said, Chuck got a lot of kudos. A comment that I got from one of them was how honest the man was, and
Thank you.
the product performed as explained. They're happy with it. One of the statements that I made to the council was this sends a couple of points across to residents and taxpayers that we care about the environment, and we care about the cost of operations.
Absolutely.
And so this is something that I feel is very important.
Oh, I got a quick question then. Carbon footprint. What does this reduce the carbon footprint of the town from?
Oh, I'll address that in just a sec, but just to piggyback on what Gary was saying, so there are benefits that the town will achieve. The town will be seen as a forward-thinking town, and the selectmen will be seen as people that want to reduce the cost of the taxpayer in Oakland, and looking for creative ways to do that, and ways that aren't going to cost the taxpayers any money. So you can have those benefits along with environmental benefits. And so there's a calculation I can go to. I can take this 500,000 kilowatt hours and pop it in there, and it'll tell us how much carbon it'll offset. I could email that to you later.
That'd be great.
If
Yeah.
you want to just give me your email, I'll
Sure.
send you that. I don't want to take up time trying to find that for everybody, but
Awesome.
so that's pretty much what I had. But yeah,
Is inverter maintenance and/or replacement a big item for you that you run into in your 10 years of doing this?
so we've had to replace a few inverters, but they fall under warranty, so it hasn't cost the customer anything. But if an inverter is going to fail, it's going to fail in the first 3 months. Very quickly it'll fail, and then the manufacturer gives us a new product to put in. And so the inverter's a warranty for 12 years, I believe.
Oh, nice.
So I guess...
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your time. I guess it was approved last time, right? So we're going to be working on the contract?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to the council about the contract, I gotta talk with you about it, there's a couple of issues that our attorney brought up on it, so I wanna talk to you tomorrow, give you a call on that.
Okay.
And we'll take it from there, what we can do is go back and forth through email and signatures.
Okay, that sounds good.
I'll be in,
All right. If any questions come up,
you gonna be around? Oh,
yeah, if any questions come up, don't hesitate to give me a ring or email. This is Barry. Thank you for your time. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Gary, for your time and your support. Appreciate it. Okay, very good.
Next item on the agenda is item number 4, to discuss the updating of land use ordinance.
I have Dave Savage here to discuss that with you. I won't find it. Dave, you're up.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Which one was this? I got it. You have everything here? I do. Thank you. Thank you so much for here.
I'll give you my card and you can just email me.
Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
And then I'll answer your question. Thanks for your good questions and support.
Yeah, well, that's the one with the 200 square feet, that's the newest one, right?
Yes, that's the newest one. This is the same thing we spoke about at the last meeting, was reducing some of the setbacks for the accessory structures. One of the concerns from Councilor Bezel was if snow comes off the roof, is it on the neighbor's property? So I have a section in there, the roof pitch toward the property line, it could be no closer than 10 feet. That way, if any snow is coming off, the secondary